Hey guys, welcome back to Kuma Reviews. I feel like I say this a lot, but lately I've been getting a lot of Grail, highly anticipated pieces, etc., etc. Kind of a quote-unquote blessed time as a collector for me. Not really as many Transformers and stuff like that, not necessarily phasing out, but I'm getting stuff that I feel is a bit more cool at the moment, so that's what I'm reviewing, and thank you guys for your support regardless. But this here is the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Iron Man Mark 46. So this is my definitive costume from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. For me, it has to do with the scene of, in Civil War, of Tony up against Steve Rogers, Bucky, how that was filmed, the moment itself, just everything about it, it made for literally my absolute favorite part of the entire past decade of Marvel movies. It's really, really, really good. And on top of that, the suit is awesome. I really like the bulkiness to it and things like that. The Mark 45 is really good too, but I feel like that is kind of a cross between this suit and Ultron itself. This one feels a lot more like Iron Man to me. So let's get it measured. Of course, this is a 1/6 scale figure. So the height is just over 12 inches tall, about 12 and a half actually. Which makes sense. Quick roundabout of the figure. We'll definitely dig in and look at it in depth. Looking at the accessories that it comes with a stand. I'm just showing the base part of it because it's a rubble style base, which is really neat. Comes with this piece as well, like some kind of pillar or something like that, as well as a Captain America mask. I don't know why it comes with that. There's really no significance to it, but I don't know. It comes with it. In terms of these accessories, Tony Stark head, which is also another reason that I really like this. Well, I love the suit, but this Hot Toy, it's one of my favorite Tony Stark head sculpts. Alright? And it has two sets of hands. These are kind of the repulsor blast hands. These are hands with articulated fingers, his missiles, and then it comes with the pods that shoot out of his shoulders as well. That scene where he gets smashed by the shield and things like that. Sorry, stuttering there. I'm trying to look and just make sure I point everything out. But, of course, his flight pieces as well. So, pretty cool stuff. Alright, so just giving an overview of this figure now. This is a die-cast figure. So, I expected it to maybe have a little bit of die-cast in the frame or something like that. No, this is not like the older Hot Toys, all plastic figures and things like that. This is a very heavy piece. It has die-cast throughout the frame, of course, but then there are parts on the outside as well, like the feet, parts of the armor, etc., that are die-cast. It's hefty. And they've made a lot of engineering advancements as well. So, little things. And I'm going to get into this even before I go ahead and review it. It has an extension in the abdomen there to allow for more back and forth movement, which was freaking awesome. So that's literally a triple tier abdomen. Little stuff like that fell off. When you crunch, this piece moving forward to get out of the way. When you move the legs, these flaps on the side, moving by themselves even, which is incredible. It has drop hips, so drop them down, they lock into place, and then you have more motion on the legs. Put that back up. And everything, even though the joints are nice and tight, I will say it plays very well and it feels very safe while you're moving it around. So we'll go over the articulation now, then we'll go over the LEDs, take a look at the Stark head, get some poses, get you guys on your way. Alright, so on this has, I'll pop it off so you guys can see it actually. This moves back and forth to give the head some more room. Pop that back on the ball joint, but 360, up and down. And this is on the ball joint as well, but obviously the neck meets this bracket thing here in the kind of clavicle area or whatever, so it can't really do much besides go back and forth. Doesn't have any turning or anything like that, which is unfortunate because it'd be nice to have a more natural sideways look to it. The shoulder armor, it can move, not very far though, so be careful with it. Kind of springs back into place. Shoulders, outwards, 360. Of course, swivel at the bicep, full swivel. Double jointed elbows, and then ball jointed wrist. So, and that's also how the hands pop off. Okay, we looked at the waist a little bit. Let's look at it further. It doesn't have a, whether it's extended or not, that's a little bit of swivel, but the majority of the swivel is going to be on this upper side. We already looked at that. And we'll look, that's about the extent of the outward right there. We looked at the hips as well. Drop those. Get full range of motion. Outward. Oh, that forearm piece came off. Forward. And I like that these pieces move too. And backward, not very far. Double jointed knees. Really strong lock there. There is hip swivel, but because of the armor, it doesn't do a full 360. Ankle tilt. Then we're kind of looking at, you gotta watch these pieces. I heard they can be fragile. Mine haven't had problems, but I'm wary of it because I've been worn so many times. I'm just looking at the feet there. That back home. Take that guy back in. But there's the articulation. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the lights. This thing has lights for days. I think the total battery count is 22. So, light on his head. This panel comes off. Make sure his feet are planted. So, you can see he has a couple of lights on his back there. As well as lights all throughout the front. In fact, I'm going to turn off one of my lights here so you guys can see them better. Alright, each of the forearms has a light as well. So, lights through the arms, through the hands. Oh. Okay. Then each of his legs has switches as well. And I've gotten a little more used to, because for the photography and stuff like that, I've had to take these in and out so many times. The tabs, but when there are problem areas, definitely use the included tweezers / spudger. It's good stuff. Alright, so the thighs, each side. Lights throughout the leg too, and you can see that these lights are also plenty bright. So really, really good stuff. And we're going to leave these on for the rest of the review. There are a pair of lights I actually forgot even. So these shoulders actually light up as well. If I can actually get this piece off. Pretty heavy, pegs in well, but there you go. Light switch is right here. And each shoulder lights up right there. Okay, so now just going over some of the other gimmicks here. He does have the air brakes. And they just flip out. Like so. Weaponry wise, those are just magnets. So the shoulders pop out, and then these pieces here, it's kind of thin, but these are magnets as well. They just pop out. Really strong magnets, by the way. Well, I'll just do one. Oh, the missile's on the forearm side. Make sure I'm doing the right side. I believe this is it. Yep. And we'll also go ahead and get the shoulder armor too. Trying to make sure I'm doing the right side here. Ugh. There we go. Alright, so pretty neat stuff. And since we're already zoomed in, we can take a look at the damaged chest. As well as that beautiful Tony Stark head. Alright. So I just brace the whole thing and kind of pull it forward. It's a pretty shallow ball joint on here, so you don't have to worry about breaking this ball joint or anything like that. Now this, there's a tab that goes in, and then you push the whole thing back. And then pop that in. And of course it's all subjective. But I think that this is just gorgeous. There we go. Now we're just going into just poses and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy here. Battle damage Tony. Holding that mask. Again, I don't get the significance of it. I'm sure you guys commenting will know a bit more about it than me. I know it wasn't in the movie, but it's just something to make use of it. As well as Oppose using that Stark head, which I absolutely love. Alright. So now, Pulsar blasting. And the balance on this thing is really incredible. Of course, the land and pose. Now, even though he has Ab Crunch, it doesn't cinch in as well as I'd like for this particular pose, but it works. It's a hell of a lot better than the older Iron Man toys were, the Hot Toys. Alright, and ending it on a pose that's a little bit different, one that I don't see a lot of these Iron Men posed in, but just doing a flight pose. And these are actually attached to those hands. They don't come out. These just peg into the feet. And if these do come out, I apologize. I gave them a decent tug, but they didn't for me, so definitely didn't want to break anything. But a lot of credit has to be given to the stand here. As you can see, it's holding them up just fine. One thing I will say is if you don't want this to rotate one way or another, make sure to screw this screw in so it stays in place. But I like it. Overall, it's awesome to have a really nice interpretation of my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe armor. Again, this is the Hot Toys diecast Mark 46 Iron Man, or Iron Man Mark 46, whatever you want to call it. This has been another Kuma Style review. Like with all my videos, like, share, subscribe, and check out the full written breakdown and gallery on kumastyle.com. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate your support in general, and I'll see you next review.